A gown was placed on her to confer rulership, and everyone stood to honor her ascent to power. But in the end, she stood in the same hall, having been reduced to nothing. What went wrong? Who was responsible for Swan's downfall? After Elida arrived at the castle tower, she wanted a meeting with Swan, but she was stopped by Lyanna and Farine. Then they told her to first wait for an appointment. She became so offended by this, and that's when she started plotting Swan's downfall. How was she going to achieve it? In the first step of her plan, she visited the Red's faction in the Tower Castle. Previously, Elida used to be one of them before being reassigned away from the tower as an advisor to Queen Mogazi. She explained her plan and the role they would play in it. Seeing that she was one of them and they already hated Swan's rulership, it wasn't hard for them to accept everything. In the next step, she went to Vereen, the leader of the White faction, to request her support. Varian explained that she would only support her if Elida would gather evidence proving that Swan had broken Tower Castle laws. At that time, Swan wrote letters to the various kings and queens informing them of a change in tower policies. This unlawful policy change gave Elida the chance to get Vereen on her side. Therefore, she had completed gathering all the support that she needed to overthrow Swan. So Elida called an emergency meeting in the castle tower hall to discuss Swan's ouster. Then they sent Lyanna to fetch Swan from her office for the hearing in the hall. When she stood in front of the sitting committee, Elida started explaining that the meeting was held in adherence to tower law. Therefore, everything they had discussed and concluded was legal. Further, she explained that the committee had established that Swan violated their law and was in collaboration with tower enemies. Hence, the penalty for such violations would include being stripped of her rulership authority and superpowers. Swan was so shocked because she knew that the committee had agreed on this and her fate was sealed. Suddenly, all the committee members stood and activated their powers all around to link together. This gave Elida the full energy requirement for stripping Swan of her superpowers. Then they carried her away, beat her up for going against the tower laws, took her fancy gown and dressed her like a nobody.